All right, you guys, salmon season's coming up. So, LinkSUP paddleboards got together with Catch America a couple weeks back, and I was really impressed with some of their lures. These caught my eye in particular. It's a thin kind of trolling spoon. The UV on it was really shining, and when they had that display with the UV on it, and it's got the silver plating, it looks really good to me. We also got into some of their plastics and some of the smaller metal as well that looks really good. And we're gonna be doing that later for some kokanee. That's gonna be coming up. This is the kokanee bag. We'll get into that later on. But this is the salmon hype video, and I wanna show you guys what we're gonna do with these optimizers from Catch America. So I like to go real light on my salmon tackle. This is all I'm going to take out in the boat or on the paddleboard. I might even take less. I like to get it really thin as I go, get prepared at home. We do have boxes and boxes and rows of gear, but the point is to get prepared ahead of time and be ready. So the rod, I have this old Cabela's like catfish rod. Basically this thing is overkill for sure for salmon, and I have a just a low-cost pin level wind line counter on here. This rig caught a bunch of salmon last year. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a really good kind of budget-friendly bang around option that you just don't have to worry about. The rod does have a pretty like slow, soft flex to it, so it's good on the downrigger. Plenty long, get you well away from the paddleboard, and you can get it close to the nets and all that kind of stuff. So this is similar to any salmon setup. We have lots of different ones that we use when we're out. And what we're going to do today is get these optimizers ready. So I'm going to set this down for you guys like this. I'm just kind of walk you through what we're going to do. So these have the treble hook on here. That's not going to work for us. Ocean regulations require barbless. So we're going to do our little unboxing now. And we're going to check out what these are really doing here. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. It's actually not as light as I initially thought it was going to be. It's got a pretty good thickness to it. It's not a Castmaster, but it's not like a crocodile. It's a little thinner. The optimizer looks good. I think that color is going to just destroy. So a little bit about salmon rigs. We're basically going to be doing mostly trolling. I use a lot of flashers and spinners. That's the short bus flasher. If you're familiar with short bus, that's a good flasher. It's got this heavy mono that goes right to the snap swivel of my main line, and then this has at the end a snap on that. So no tying knots is the theme when you're in the boat fishing. So this needs to get rigged ready to basically connect to the snap here on the back of the flasher. So we need to get to basically a swivel. And what I like to do for that is use these. They have a lot of different beads on them, like a bead chain is what it's called. And then if some seaweed gets in one, the other ones keep working, and keeps your line working good so you don't get too twisted. So that's basically what we're going to do. And any mono will do, and I'm going to go up to 40-pound mono, which is way overkill for how hard a salmon pulls, but it gives me a little bit of leeway for yanking fish in the side of the boat, over the side of the paddleboard, horsing fish around, and I don't think they're too line shy, so they don't care. So we're gonna get started with that. So first we're gonna get this treble hook off here, and haven't done this yet, so we're just going to see if it's doable by hand or if I need tools. It's pretty tight. Pretty strong. Let's see what we get here. That's all right, not too bad. We'll save that later. So I've got just some old hooks here, crimp the barb, and we'll see if that eyelet matches the split ring well enough. You want it to still swivel around and not get bound up, and that's always the hardest part with this. So yeah, no binding. That'll be good. No binding. They can throw that hook if that gets bound up more than you want, but I don't know which way you want it to go, to the bright side or the color side or the other side. I don't know. There you go. So the other thing we'll do at home is sharpen that hook because it needs to be tacky. You can hear it and you can see it. That's tacky, and I already sharpened it. But I have a little diamond file. We're just gonna hit that a little bit. Do this at home, because when the boat's rocking and rolling, you can't do this. You're gonna get seasick anyway. Oh, look at that! Wow, that's tacky. That means like it's grabbing my skin and it just wants to sink in through my thumb. So that's gonna be our setup there. I'm gonna get a leader going. Not gonna be too long. We don't have to make it crazy. I just do about one span of my arms, a little bit less usually, just because I don't want to stretch out that far and have a bunch of line on the ground. Remember, the shorter the leader, the more the flasher impairs action. Don't forget that. The shorter the leader, the more action you get. And we're just going to tie it right on there. We could do another snap swivel, but at some point it's just getting to be a lot. I do like to do that though, because I don't like that split ring where the knot can slip in there. You guys know what I'm talking about. That knot right in that part of the split ring, that's not bueno. We don't like that. So let's see if we got one. There we go. Nothing too overkill. It's got a welded ring, and it can't fall into that problem. I'm not going to do a knot tying tutorial for you. In fact, I might cut the knots out of the video if I don't do it right the first time. There's a lot of different knots to tie. It kind of depends what pound test I'm using, what I tie. I tie a completely different knot for 40 pound as I do 14 pound, or as I would for 140 pound for bluefin. There's reasons to do that. But I did get a pretty solid connection here. Pretty solid little connection there. Feels good. Don't have to get crazy clipping it real close. No one's gonna see that. Those salmon don't care. Yeah, you can switch out the lure if you want to, but we're not gonna ever need to. We're gonna catch so many salmon on this. This thing's probably not coming off there for the whole year. We're just gonna keep crushing them on this. I think this is gonna be my go-to. I think, I can just tell. And then we're gonna get the bead chain on there, and then I'm gonna show you how I store these in the bag so they're ready to go, which is equally as important as having them, because if you can't use them, what good does it make to make them? I've seen a lot of days on boats and paddle boards out doing stuff where people spin their head down all the time trying to figure out what they should have already known and be ready to catch fish. That's why we're out there, is to catch fish, not to figure out terminal tackle. So there we go. We're getting it together. This might win an award maybe for like the worst video ever made or something. You're just staring at a table while I tie a knot. That's pretty hilarious, actually. But look at that. You better look at something good while I'm finishing this up. I'm stoked on these. I'm stoked on the Catch America crew. They're a cool crew. They've got some of our paddle boards right now. They're out there getting those trout and kokanee up in Tahoe as we speak. Now, here we go. Bead chain, 40-pound mono, which is for salmon kind of unbreakable, to the optimizer on a single barbless, tacky sharp. Look at that, just tacky sharp. And that's gonna go on a little foam thing that I've got. There's a lot of these different types of things out there. You use whatever you like. But you basically, the idea is you sink the hook in the foam some way, and then you kind of gently coil the line because you don't want to put a kink in it. And when you get somewhere near the end, you just figure out some way to get that secured in there. And it doesn't have to hold it in hurricane force winds. It's just going in your tackle box, just like this. And I might put it in another bag, which I do sometimes, but then when I get out there and I want to rig, this just clips right on to my main line. If I'm not doing the downrigger, I might be on my paddleboard running divers, and these catch a lot of fish. That clips right to my main line. I got a couple different sizes there. There's the heavy one. There's the really heavier one. You might just do a small flasher because it pulls less. That won't pull as dramatic as you're trying to go deeper with limited tools. But that catches a lot of fish, you guys. All these combinations: divers, small flashers, big flashers. Big dodgers, or whatever that is, big flasher, spinner, big spinner. You know what I'm talking about. You get all that stuff out there, and you just want to click it, click it, click it. So this one's ready just to click right on, and I can literally be fishing within 60 seconds of stopping the boat. Just a couple snap swivels, and because I don't drive the boat fast with everything rigged up because it flies around, or if I'm paddleboarding, I keep everything pretty tidy while I'm paddling out, and then get it set once I get to the good spot. So that's that. I'm going to do this other one, and then I'll be able to run two at a time, or let my buddies or whatever use one. And there we go. So that's what we're going to do. This is going to be my first salmon troll of the year. Got a good feeling about this. Of course, we've got all the other tried and trues. There's a you know what that is, all that stuff. But I think this is going to outfish it. I think this is going to outfish. It's going to have a lot of action, and it's going to work. So that's something to look forward to soon. Is the LinkSUP paddleboarding. This is how we get ready. This is how we get the rods ready, and then you're going to see LinkSUP pretty soon. Getting those salmon. Might do a halibut video as well. Similar types of rigs for that. And we'll see you guys out there.